First of all, what's your name?
Danny.
Danny, good to meet you. I'm David.
Nice to meet you.
You said a couple minutes ago that you were sort of a tumbleweed.
Yes. Well, Tumbleweed is the name just for the people who work here and live here. The idea is it's young people who write and don't have much money, so they come and live in Paris, they work at the bookshop, do 2 hours a day, and you can get to access to all the books and writing facilities and stuff like that.
Is there a limit to how long you can stay? Or
Not well. I think as long as you respect the place and you're decent and they like you, then you're welcome to stay. Apparently, some guy a few years ago stayed for 5 years as a tumbleweed.
There are quite a few tumbleweeds, and there's a...
Yeah, there's I think 6 at the moment.
They pretty much all English speaking, or?
Yeah, all English speaking, but there's 3 are British, there's 2 Americans and 1 new one, which is from New Zealand. You know about George Whitman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives upstairs still. He's 95.
I didn't know he lived upstairs.
Yeah, because he's the one that opened it in 1951 or something.
While you work here, what do you do?
Just general odd jobs, really. It's whatever. Well, because the paid staff have so many jobs to do. It's just whatever. They're just small jobs. Then stacking shelves, or sometimes we'd be sent out to get groceries for George, or walking the dog and carrying boxes up and down stairs. It's each do a shift per day of 2 hours. The original shop, which was the original Shakespeare Co, was just into the Latin Quarter a little bit, I think a couple of blocks away, and it was run by Sylvia Beach, who run it. I don't know when she started it, but in the 20s and 30s, and that's where James Joyce's Ulysses was published, and that's where Hemingway and Gertrude Stein and all those names were kind of the hub for. And then when George opened it in '51, it was kind of a continuation of this idea, letting people stay, and it's maybe like a kind of community for writers, and Henry Miller and Anais Nin have been through here and stuff, and to be in a place with so much history as well, because it's such a historic bookshop and it's such a legacy of, and so many kind of famous writers have been through, and it's just quite exciting, really. Yeah.
Do you get much chance to interact with the public that comes in?
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, obviously they can see you work here, and sometimes if they're interested, you can give them a bit of the history of the place, every week we have visiting people come to do readings and poetry and stuff. So every tumbleweed who comes here has to write a one-page biography of their life to give to George.
Oh, wow.
So upstairs he's got this big book of all the ex-tumbleweeds with their page of their lives and stuff, and their names. So I guess if ever any of us become famous, George has got this document.
Saying, hey, look.
Yeah.